We will be sharing why this prime condo, very good location, probably have sea view also, lost up to $7 million.
So I think we need to understand your supply, whether is there an oversupply in this area.
Yes.
Right. So
East side, best side. If you want the honest truth about Vela Bay, keep watching. Otherwise, skip this video. Welcome back to another episode of Hiker Titus Honest Truth. HT.
If you have enjoyed our content so far, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And also scan our QR code if you guys are in the market for either a resale or a new launch. With the new launch market being super hot, honestly guys, resale is still an option if you think about profitability.
Yes.
Okay? So as of the recording, today we are recording on the 1st of April.
April Fool. There's no video actually.
No video.
Bye.
So what we want to share a joke is about Pinery, which just launched last weekend, Titus.
Wow, yeah, 93%.
Correct. So if you have seen the average PSF that was sold, it was about 2005.
Highest 2007.
Correct. So if you think about it, in 4 years' time, like what we mentioned in our Pinery analysis video, Tampines is going to be selling at 2007 to 3007 PSF.
Booms.
So this is where the property market is going in Singapore. So what is the takeaway lesson? Buy your property as soon as possible before you get priced out.
So with this news of Pinery selling 93%, we will still stay in the east side because the next launch in the month of April 11, is going to be Vela Bay, which is going to be directly connected to Bayshore MRT. So for all the pilot and cabin crew, maybe you can look at this video. You go to work, 10 minutes.
Right, because I think for Vela Bay, one of the main objection titles is the location. Because right now, if you think about it, it is quite ulu. There's nothing much down there, as only the Bayshore MRT which is quite new as well. Right, so what we will go through these 4 things with you guys. Basically, first is the project details, followed by the entry price point.
Number 3 is the supply and exit strategy, and number 4, we will go through briefly on the layout of Vela Bay.
Okay. So after all this, hopefully it gives you a better understanding on Vela Bay. Right. So if you're unaware, I think this is the first new launch in Bayshore area in the past 25 years in terms of a decent size condo basically. I think when it comes to decent size, we talk about maybe 300 to 400 unit size.
Yes.
Most recent, I think basically is Costa Del Sol.
20 years ago.
Yes, that's the most recent. I think they TOP in 2004. If not, you have to go down to the Sea Club area, 1 MRT down, where you find seaside residents that TOP in 2021.
Yes.
But I think more people consider Sea Club a bit more atas as compared to what Bayshore is currently.
Yep. It's like Katong to Sea Club.
Yeah. So I think for all the Easties, it's very exciting time because this area is basically filled with super old condos. So this is something refreshing for the area to have a new development coming up.
So if you're new to our channel, we usually like to advocate to our viewers, to go for developments that are slightly bigger, maybe like 300 to 400 in terms of unit. And if you're wondering why, it's because it's easier to exit. Number 1, because there's more transaction to help you hold your value or push up your value. And number 2, of course, is the sharing of the maintenance cost. Because sometimes when we bring buyers to go and look at resale unit, they ask the MCST cost, then $800 for a small development. Well, it's very difficult to stomach this constant $800, like a pay insurance premium like that.
Correct.
For a month-to-month basis. So sometimes for smaller developments, this might be a challenge to resale buyers.
Yeah, so Vela Bay at 515 units is basically at a sweet spot. And basically, like what Titus had mentioned, they will preview on 11th of April.
10 more days.
Pending the COH approval. Then afterwards, they will go on for 2 weeks before going for the booking day. So if you guys are interested in the show flat preview, do scan our QR code, let us know. Then we will sit down with you guys to see whether it's worth purchasing or not, depending on your budget basically.
Yeah, so guys, help to scan my QR code because we realize that a lot of our viewers are scan Hikers QR code.
Yes,
they probably forget about me. So give me a chance, scan my QR code.
He said.
Yeah.
So back to Vela Bay, Titus. What's the price the developer bought at?
1.3. It was the price was something that last year, 2025, a lot of people keep speaking about, right? You should buy River Valley because Zion Grand, Promenade Peak, because Vela Bay, Bayshore has bought the land for 1,388.
Correct.
Which was very, very high, right? So their break-even cost is probably around a 2005 range for the developer. So essentially almost no chance that they will sell below 2005 lah.
Very low.
They will lose money lah, so
Yes.
they wouldn't do that. So to be very honest, we anticipate the starting price to be around 2006 onwards, averaging probably 28, 29.
With Pioneer doing, I think, as high as 2007, I think this might even give more confidence to Singhai, who's the developer of Vela Bay.
Yes.
And they might possibly push the PSF of Vela Bay up to 3.2 to 3.3 potentially.
Yes, yes.
So be prepared to pay for such PSF, especially for those high floor sea view units.
So as I mentioned just now, right, in 2025, a lot of people say Vela Bay, Bayshore is very expensive because of 1388. But in a short span of 12 months,
Yes.
right, actually the narrative flipped already. Vela Bay seems to be affordable. I wouldn't say cheap, because we have seen Novena land bid at 1,008. We have seen Dover recently announced 1.5. And of course, now Vela Bay at 1,388. Suddenly it becomes not bad already. So I think what this land bid is just trying to point us in a direction is, okay, land is going to get more and more expensive, right? Definitely, if let's say you are in a position to go and start your property journey, we will encourage you not to jump into buying straight away, but have a conversation. Start talking about the plans, right? Which you can reach out to us, scan our QR code. We'll be more than happy to have a chat with you.
Right, so now we go back to the basics of Vela Bay.
Yes.
The project details. So just quickly, 515 units,
Yes.
2 blocks up to 31 stories. And amazingly, 78% of the units will be facing the sea.
That's their main selling point, sea
Correct.
facing.
Yeah, so this is really fantastic, almost 100%. Then afterwards, it is a leasehold, Singhai, which also developed Grand Dunman, and the best development in the west, which is Park Clementis.
Okay.
Right, so TOP around 2030, and I think 2 minutes walk to Bayshore. And the best part is you get to walk to East Coast Park within 8 minutes lah.
For car park, there is a 50% provision. Right? So one thing for Vela Bay, this is something that is very important for you guys. You want the sea view, right? You want that premium view. Be prepared for a little bit of sun, and be prepared for ECP. It's a given one. It's a package, right? If you don't like noise, you like very quiet kind of place, then really you don't like the sun, then I can tell you, don't bother looking at Vela Bay.
Yep. Then we move on to the unit mix. So basically, we have 1 bedder, 27 minutes, a small portion.
Yes.
Followed by your 2 bedders, which makes the largest portion at 38%, followed by your 3 bedder at 34%.
So for 4 bedder, we have around 88 units. And then for 5 bedder, which is something very rare in this area that we will touch about later in the video, that's 26 units. Then of course, there's 2 penthouses for all the ultra wealthy clients lah.
So now we want to talk about the location of Vela Bay, because this whole Bayshore area is
Quite new lah.
Yes, there's a lot of government planning and effort being put into this basically. So if you look at our image, Vela Bay is at the bottom left. To the left of us, we have the older condos, basically your Bayshore and Costa Del Sol. Then above us, we have 2 upcoming BTOs, I think not yet launched.
Yes.
Then followed by, on the right hand side, there's the other 2 upcoming BTOs, which I think launched in October 2024 already. Right, so I think these are your plus HDBs.
Which means 10 years MOP lah.
Correct. And we will also share with you guys how does this affect your exit strategy.
Yep.
Because a lot of people say you need your HDB upgraders, but with a 10-year MOP, how does it affect you as a Vela Bay investor? So also with the upcoming BTOs, it adds to your convenience because they will have supermarket and hawker centers and shops lah for you over at Vela Bay.
And on the furthest right, is where the government just announced a couple of days ago, they are launching this integrated piece of land connected to Bedok South MRT. Right, there's malls, there's condos, and then integrated with the Thomson East Coast line, Bedok South line. And analysts estimate that it's going to be up to a price range of almost $2 billion, right, for the developer to come in to bid. Likelihood is going to be 1.3 to 1.5 PSF that they are going to bid it at lah. But we will wait for the results.
Correct. So I think we are expecting about 1,002 residentials for the plot, and then in terms of the mall, it will be about 22,500 square meter.
Okay.
Which is bigger than Sekang Grand and then Tom Modern, same size as Hillian Mall. So I think in terms of the mall size, it's very, very big.
So a little bit about the future Bayshore development. It's already like planned that the largest SAFRA will be here in the Bayshore. And then of course there will be a future health and medical hub right at the bottom of the Bayshore plot. So this area, you have East Coast Park for family outing, and then you have all the amenities going to come up in the next 5 to 10 years time, right? And of course, the transportation, Thomson East Coast Line going down to town, probably quite convenient for all the people who are working in CBD as well.
So basically, in summary, this township is going to be very self-sustaining. I think it's perfect for own stay. If you have a own stay mindset of buying Vela Bay,
Yes.
I think this is something you guys should really consider, to be honest. And also, I think for East Coast Park, most of the East Coast are considered mature
Yes.
and quite developed. I think for this part of Bayshore to be very fresh, everything is brand new, might give a different perspective to even resale buyers in the future, definitely.
Because if you look at the east side, right, especially like D15, Katong come all the way down, Marine Parade, Parkway Parade, C Club, right, you realize that if you look at URA master plan, everything there is planned already.
Yes.
There is really not much
All done up.
land to develop anything. The only way that you can have an east side, sea facing, East Coast Park, New Township, the area is Bayshore. Of course, if you go further into Pasir Ris, Tampines, that's another story lah. But we are talking about this part of ECP, the east side.
So now we go to the site plan of Vela Bay. So if you can see here, like what we mentioned earlier, there is 78% of sea view.
Yes.
So the developers have designed the block in a V shape, something very unique. So basically, they have maximized the space between the different blocks, and at the same time, maximize the views for the sea view. And I think the rest 17% will view your landed. And
yes.
then there's, I think, one block, one stack that will be facing the pool view lah.
So to get the sea view, you kind of have to clear level 10, level 11.
Correct.
Right? And just now as mentioned, if you are facing the sea view, definitely you have to find ways to be comfortable with a little bit of ECP white noise lah. Right? Of course, now technology is very good, double glazed window, all these things can help you to block out all the noise.
Here are also some photos and rendering of the pictures. Pool photo, drop-off photo. I think the condo from far looks very nice. So to be honest, it's quite exciting and very promising lah. So now we move on to the price point, Titus. I think something that our viewers are really keen on.
Yes.
So like what we mentioned earlier on, I think the official pricing as of today has not been released. But if it is released, we will share in a screenshot here.
Yes.
But for now, we will use the break-even of 2.5 and assume that the average of 2.9 lah.
Yep.
Then we will compare to our resale counterparts over at Seaside Residences
And Costa Del Sol.
and Costa Del Sol. So first is comparing to Seaside Residences. It's one bedder. So what we have at 2900 PSF, the price will come up to about 1.4.
For a 484 square feet lah.
Correct.
But
Then-
this is harmonized lah.
Yes, this is harmonized. Then we have over at Seaside Residences, what we can see here from the image is basically for one bedder, highest done already 1.6.
Yep.
So basically, if you see down here, we are below the highest transacted over at Seaside Residence.
So the new project kind of like 200,000 cheaper than a resale nearby lah.
Correct.
Okay, so if we look at the two-bedder, both size 689, 678, going to be around the range of $2 million. So if we compare to Seaside Residence, right, we can take a look at the two-bed, two-bath, transacted 2.06 million.
Very
So,
similar.
Very similar, but remember, right, Vela Bay is harmonized, Seaside is not harmonized, and Seaside is probably going to be like 7 to 8 years older than Vela Bay.
Correct. Then we move on to the three-bedder. We look at, for example, the 893 square feet without the bomb shelter. At 2.9 PSF, we are expected to be at 2.59 in terms of quantum. What is done already at Seaside Residence, you can see is at
2.58.
2.58.
Quite similar.
So very similar yet again. Then, however, for the three-bedder with the bomb shelter,
Wow, this one interesting.
yeah, so for Vela Bay, maybe average about 2.99 million in terms of quantum.
Yes.
Seaside Residence,
3.4 million transacted.
yeah, so we can see here people are paying a premium for the bigger sizes over at East Coast Park already.
And the sea view lah.
Correct. Then we move on to the four-bedder. You can see here for Vela Bay at 2.9, it ranges from maybe 3.4 to 4 million. Seaside Residence, what is transacted is 4.4 million.
Yes.
I think you can see here in East Coast, buyers are willing to pay for newer
Price not a
developments.
problem.
Yes.
Ah.
So what we hear always at East Coast is that people want to buy bigger.
Yes.
Down here, 1 and 2 bedders might not be the best, but if you have a budget constraint, want to stay in East Coast, then no choice.
Yes.
But maybe for your best investment returns, buy as big as you can, guys.
Yeah, 1 to 2 bedder, like just now we mentioned, pilot, cabin crew lah. Very convenient location for you to go to work. You no longer have to just stay at Flora Drive.
Correct.
That's another alternative.
This is a huge upgrade.
Hey, why you don't like Flora Drive?
I never say anything.
Okay, so for 5 bedders, right? Because seaside residents do not have any 5 bedder, but Vela Bay based on 2,900 average for 1,582 square feet, the price will be around 4.6 million. So in terms of 4.6 million, 5 bedder, we have to take around the area, right? Disclaimer, because some of the developments are a little bit too old, we can't find too much information. 5 bedder, it's pretty rare in the neighborhood because we can only find the Bayshore, which is almost like 27 years old, right? That's 82 units. Rivera Residence, which is probably like 20 years old, there's only 1 unit. And then Bayshore Park, which is probably as old as me, like 40 years old, right? That's 31 units. So all in all, this vicinity around Bayshore, 1 kilometer radius, maybe 125 bedroom units.
So there's really a lack of supply for 5 bedder because even when we go down to seaside residents, within 1 kilometer, really there's no supply of 5 bedders. So like we always mention in this channel, I think in terms of investment, when your supply is low, that's the product you should buy. Basically.
Buy something that is rare.
Then maybe you can earn $1 to $2 million profit in maybe 4 to 5 years time, potentially.
Okay, we'll be very brief on the penthouse, 1,765 square feet, right? Averaging 2.9 PSF, that will be around 5.12 million. But this is only 2 units and it's for the ultra wealthy people who 5 million is like probably loose change.
Easy money. Then now we compare to the Costa Del Sol, which is the next youngest one, sadly, right? So if you were to reset the lease for Costa Del Sol because it's a bit too old.
Current, what's the transaction for Costa Del Sol?
PSF? I think on average it's about 1,887 down there.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically if we divide by 71 years and then we multiply by 99, what we get is about 26 PSF. But this is before harmonization.
Yes.
So if we were to include harmonization, the 7%, what it will lead us to is basically is about 28, I think 15 PSF.
Yep.
So if we compare back to Vela Bay at 29, I think it's very, very similar in terms of pricing now you can see.
Yeah, but one thing about Costa Del Sol is because it belongs to the older layout, bay window, all these things.
Correct.
The actual livable space might be smaller.
Yes.
And of course, last time people like big lah. So we have 3 bedrooms. You need probably like 1,003, 1,004 square feet.
Humongous.
Which is big lah, but sometimes too much, right? So maybe Vela Bay will offer a better option in terms of size efficiency and usage efficiency lah.
Correct. But if let's say you come to us and tell us like, no, Michael and Titus, we want something more premium.
Yes.
We want freehold but new.
Yes.
What are our options? So now we go all the way to the other side of East Coast, which is at Mayor Blue.
Yep.
So Mayor Blue is a freehold nearer to Katong. It's also a new launch, but I think mainly left with 4 and 5 bedders lah. But if we look at the accepted pricing of Mayor Blue,
the 2 bedrooms is around 3,200 per square feet.
And this is pre-harmonization.
Yeah, so same thing, we add probably around 7% back to it. It will be close to 3,459.
Yes.
Right. So 3,459 versus Vela Bay 2,900. There's a $500 difference. Essentially, this $500 PSF difference, about 20% is what you are paying for freehold and leasehold difference lah.
Which makes sense lah, to be honest. Then we move on to the 3-bedder. Average PSF about 3,194, close to 3,200. At harmonization, it goes back to 3,400 as well.
Yes.
So yet again, it's about 18% difference between leasehold and freehold. Then the 4-bedder at 3,200 PSF as well. At harmonization is about 3,400.
About the same?
Yeah. So what we see here for accepted pricing, now is already up to 3,637 for harmonization.
Yes.
So Vela Bay now at 2,900.
Could it be something that is worth looking at lah?
Correct. We understand that is on the other side, but now for Vela Bay as an investor, you can see that accepted pricing is at 3,435.
Yes.
When you buy at 2,900, you can sell back at the entry price of Mayor Blue.
Which is something also very important. Why do we want to constantly look at the neighbors, the surrounding, right? It's because one of our upcoming videos, we will be sharing, right, why this prime condo, very good location, probably have sea view also, lost up to $7 million simply because, right, when the buyers bought in the PSF, it was at 2.5x the neighborhood. Neighbors sell at 1,000, they sell 2.5. Right?
Insane.
So it's crazy. So you really have to be looking not just at the condo itself, but look beyond the condo and the surrounding.
So in this instance, Mayor Blue has set a new benchmark for you at Vela Bay lah.
So last thing on pricing, 2829 PSF for Vela Bay seems very, very high. But after we go through all the analysis, right, we hope that at least it gives you a new perspective. If you really want to have a one-to-one consultation to see your own plans, right, then you can scan our QR code. We will assess for you whether the potential pricing that you can get in is something that is worth looking at. Otherwise, there are probably other new projects that is going to come up in the Q3 of 2026 as well.
Then next, we will move on to supply and also your exit strategy. So I think we need to understand your supply, whether is there an oversupply in this area.
Yes.
Right. So if we look at 1 kilometer of Vela Bay, I think there's about 28 projects. But out of the 28 projects, I think only 4 are above 200 unit size lah.
A lot of smaller projects.
Yes. So there's a lot of smaller projects which, like we mentioned earlier in the video, we usually do not recommend unless there's really one that's outstanding. Then we move down to seaside residence within 1 kilometer. There's 37 projects, but out of the 37, only 8 are more than 200 unit size.
Yes.
So in total, there's only about 12 that are of a good size development. So in terms of supply in this location, really is not an oversupply situation. And new, only I think you can consider seaside residence. Everything else are very, very old developments.
So on this list, right, a lot of viewers will give this question. Hey, we have Mandarin Garden, Laguna Park, Neptune Court, right?
Correct.
All these things is like potential en bloc. Hey, Hiker Titus, can I go and buy and then hope for en bloc to happen? So on this thing, I just want to share a little bit, right, which is the size of all this development, right, is very, very big. Right?
Huge.
For example, Mandarin Garden is almost 1 million square feet big.
Yes.
So not all developers can stomach this 1.5 billion, 2 billion project.
Correct.
Right? And number two, if you're buying it into such an old resale, right, probably like 40 over years old, right, 80% of your neighbors need to go and sign approval, right? Don't need your approval, the sale also can go through one. You can reject. But then if you were to buy a 2000 PSF, and then your neighbors who have been staying there for 30 years, right, they just okay with selling at 1,008, right? Because they bought it at 300 PSF.
Super cheap.
So 80%, 90% of them sign. You don't have a choice. You buy 2,000, you have to sell 1,008.
Correct.
It's not something that you can control. And if this happened within the first 12 months of you buying the potential en bloc project, right, you will be on top of the loss, you will slap with another 16% SSD. So when we talk about en bloc, especially all these older projects, bigger in size, right, we always want to share with our clients, right, that this is a potential risk that is out of your control. And as long as your neighbor all say okay, you somehow or rather you gonna, because you are the latest kid on the block.
Correct. So I think en bloc is a lot of speculation. And when it comes to investment, we want something more concrete lah.
Yes.
So all this speculative, yes, it might be good, it might be a windfall, but if it fails, then it's a bit more bad on your side lah. Basically, you will suffer
You want
more lah.
to reduce risk lah.
Correct.
So Hiker, what is the unique selling point of Vela Bay?
So basically is the seaside facing lah.
Yes.
Right? I think everyone who is considering Vela Bay or even any East Coast condo, they want to be able to have the seaside facing basically.
Then can I say if you are buying the non-sea facing, right, then maybe don't buy Vela Bay lah, buy something else lah.
Correct. I think sometimes maybe don't get too emotional. Maybe the right choice is not buying Vela Bay. If you want to stay in Vela Bay, you love Vela Bay, sure. But I think in terms of returns or investment, might not give you the best lah. If not, can buy something cheaper, the older condos lah, basically. So I think if you have watched our other videos where we did about Nara, Pinery and River Modern, we always try to be as objective and not biased as possible lah, basically. So if you have watched those videos, we always mention, I think, different condos got different issues, such as Nara, I think the location issue, Pinery is the price issue, River Modern is basically a supply issue. I think over here at Vela Bay, we don't really see an issue except for the car park. This also we do not know how buyers were perceived in the resale market. But to be honest, I think in 2026 so far, what we do feel like this is one of the better new launches out there lah.
Yes, yes.
Right. So I think on top of that, we also want to address the BTO.
Yes.
Because I think usually for condos, a lot of the upgraders people mention is coming from the HDB side. But with the BTO still having a 10-year MOP, how does it affect you as a seller basically?
So definitely you talk about the Bayshore BTO probably take another 3 years to build lah, which let's say 2030.
Yes.
2030 they collect keys. These owners have to stay until 2040.
Correct.
Then they can sell.
Yes.
One thing for sure is the BTO that they're going to sell, right, it's not going to be cheap. They're likely going to break the $1 million from day one.
Most likely.
Of MOP already. Right? So definitely in terms of affordability, these HDB sellers, upgraders would have. But the question is then what happens in 2030 to 2040 lah, right? Which is something that I think there will be other resale buyers or HDB upgraders coming from other parts of the East to want to look at Bayshore. But your direct immediate supply, you have to be very clear. They are only ready to upgrade in 2040. So my view is Vela Bay, right? If you want a short-term flip, right, it might not be like a 4 to 5 years kind of plan. Right? But you can buy, enjoy the 4-5 years of staying, enjoy the sea view since you pay for it, and then look at your exit probably in 5 to 10 years time.
Correct. But we also want to address, is it basically that 5 to 6 years, is that no bias? Right? So when we look at our resale counterparts over at Seaside and Costa Del Sol,
yes,
we wanted to break down what's the demographic of people buying into those developments. So I think when you see Seaside residences, 69% are private buyers.
Okay.
The other 30% are basically your HDB upgraders. Then over at Costa del Sol, we have 81% of private buyers and only 18% are HDB buyers.
So condo upgrade to condo lah.
Yeah. So potentially for this east side, East Coast area, the buyer demographic are a bit different.
Yes.
What we see here are more of condo upgraders. So maybe like the 100 pumps.
Yes.
They have made $1 million in profit. So easily they can upgrade to a better location to possibly your East Coast condos lah.
Yep.
So if we compare to other parts of Singapore, for example Clavon, right, when we see their upgraded pool,
50-50 usually?
yes. So we see here about 46% of them are HDB upgraders.
Yes.
Because down there they are surrounded by a lot of HDBs. Then we move on to Queenstown, similar profile. Over at Sterling Residences, HDB upgraders also at 46%. Because down there, you know, your Dawsons, your $1 million HDB are the ones supporting the price point for condos in Queenstown lah.
Yep.
But maybe for East Coast, we can see here is slightly different. Maybe the HDB pool will be coming from Bidadari instead of your Bayshore neighbours lah.
East Coast do have a different flavour lah, right? It's not really something that we can replicate like Bidadari, Bishan, Toa Payoh. It's
Correct.
slightly different that people will want to come to East Coast, really more of a lifestyle.
So lastly is the layout. So to keep the video concise, what we will do is we will show all the layout, 2-bedder, 3-bedder and 4-bedder. We'll show you guys which one are the most ideal. You guys can slowly pick your poison. We also give a summary lah. So if you guys are keen on the floor plan, the full floor plan, we can basically send it over to you guys. Just scan our QR code, scan Titus' face, okay? He wants to be caught by you guys. He's very lonely, right? So scan us, do contact us. We will send over the whole ebook, the whole floor plan. We can have a sit down and discuss whether Vela Bay is for you lah. If not, like we mentioned, in this market, you can definitely consider resale as well. Don't just FOMO buy, okay?
So once again, thank you so much for staying with us, watching till the end of the video. We really enjoy making such videos for you. If you do have any suggestion of what we can do more in our next video, do write in the comments. Do let us know and we will try our best to do our videos and then share with you our perspective. Thank you for watching another episode of Hiker Titus Honest Truth. HT. We see you in the next episode.
Bye.